Now, Kemi Badenoch may have risen to the top of the Tory party, but some Nigerians say they're getting tired of her constant barbs against her former homeland. And now she says she doesn't feel much affinity with the country. So what does Dele Ogun from the Fatherland Group, it's a global network of forward-thinking Nigerians, that's what it describes itself as. What does Dele Ogun think? Welcome, Dele, to the programme.
Good evening, Henry.
Right, now let's start with today's comments. Well, I think they were recorded in a podcast but released today. And Mrs. Badenoch hasn't renewed her Nigerian passport for a couple of decades now, and she no longer really feels an affinity with the country. What do you make of it, and how are the Nigerians in your circle reacting to this?
Well, I think it's a reflection on a number of things. It's a reflection and an indictment, I use a stronger word, on Nigeria. It is also an indictment of Britain that created Nigeria. I'll come back to that. But it's also an indictment of Kemi herself.
Why?
Let me start with the Nigeria dimension, because in the interview, what she said was that I think the reason that I came back here, that's Britain, was actually a very sad one. And it was that my parents thought, quote, "there is no future for you in this country," end quote. I mean, that clearly is an indictment on Nigeria's record of governance, because everyone loves success. And if Nigeria was doing well, I don't think Kemi will be making those comments. So that needs to be recognized. But it's also an indictment on Britain, because that lies at the root of why Nigeria is not doing well. Nigeria was made by Britain, for the benefit of your audience, on 1st of January 1900. It was Britain that assembled 371 previously self-governing ethnic groups, lumped them together and say, you are one people, you are one Nigeria. And we've been looking for a Superman ever since that can make Nigeria work in order to optimize talents.
Indeed, but Dele, Nigeria Nigeria is a huge country, over 200 million people, a phenomenal diaspora made up of people who do brilliant work in the United States, in the UK, in the Middle East, all over the world. You find Nigerians of talent. And Nigeria has been independent for 65 years, self-governing, able to trade and make sovereign decisions for itself. Why throw back to Britain when, for all the ills of the construction of Nigeria, you have your own leaders, and you have done so since 1960.
Yes, when a tree consistently produces bad fruit, then you stop blaming the fruit and you look at the roots of that tree. The Nigerian political system is such that, and this is implicit in what Kemi is saying, is such that it has no room for her. She has capabilities, undoubtedly, as we can see in her performance as leader of the opposition.
Are you sure, Dele? Because, I mean, the clock is ticking. You know that when we get to the first anniversary of her election as leader, then she will be liable to challenge. And you don't have to be a genius to know that challenge is coming. You know, just listen to the Westminster grapevine. There are a lot of people who think that Kemi Badenoch has not quite yet found her feet. What about your indictment of her in saying that deep down, I don't really feel any affinity with Nigeria? The Vice President of Nigeria himself said if she wants to change her name, let her do so if she's not proud of being Nigerian.
Well, that's the indictment of her in terms of her conservative values, because my understanding of conservatism and conservatives is that they treasure most their heritage, their past, their history, and it's not something you can opt out of. I know she got married. Marriage only gives you, in the case of the lady, your husband's name and possibly your husband's citizenship rights. What it doesn't give you is your husband's identity. The mere fact that she's married a Briton or an Englishman doesn't make her English, and that's where her confusion stems from. That's why I say that you have to question whether she's a true conservative with a small c, because conservatives with a small c, it is about their heritage. They revere their past. And it's not something you up sticks like that.
All right.
To say that the country is not working for you. I'm no longer Nigerian.
All right. Dele Ogun, convener of the Fatherland Group, thank you very much.